The phone slipped from my grasp, clattering against the kitchen tiles with a sound that felt like bone snapping. Sarah's voice came through the speaker, sharp, careless, cutting the late-night silence. "He's better for us, Tom. He's promised to adopt the kids. We're moving in with him tomorrow." Each word hit like a punch, knocking the air from my lungs, leaving my chest hollow. I stood frozen in the dimly lit kitchen, the hum of the fridge the only thing grounding me. The kids' drawings still clung to the fridge door, their crayon smiles mocking me. How had it come to this? For weeks, something had felt off. A faint crack in our world I kept convincing myself wouldn't spread. Sarah had grown distant, her laughter thinner, eyes avoiding mine. She lingered over her phone, thumbs dancing across the screen, always claiming it was work. I rationalized it. Stress, a new project maybe. But the nights grew later, her perfume sharper, her excuses flimsier. "Client dinner," she said, voice too smooth, smile too tight. I nodded, swallowing unease, because doubting her felt like betraying the woman I'd loved for 12 years. The kids noticed too. Leia, 7, asked quietly, "Why is Mommy always gone?" I ruffled her hair, mumbling about grown-up responsibilities. But the lie tasted bitter. Max clung to me, his small hands gripping my shirt, like he sensed the world shifting beneath us. I lay awake at night, Sarah's side of the bed cold. My mind spun through possibilities. Was I too distant, too predictable? Had I failed her somehow? The questions dug into me, each one a splinter under my skin. That morning, the truth began to emerge. I found her scarf, a crimson silk one I bought for our anniversary, draped over the couch, smelling of unfamiliar cologne. My stomach churned, but I pushed the thought away, telling myself it was nothing. Maybe a colleague had left it behind. But then her phone lit up. A message on the lock screen. "Can't wait to see you tonight, babe. Kids asleep." No name, just a number. My heart hammered a drumbeat of dread. I stared at it, willing the words to mean something innocent. But they burned undeniable into me. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Confrontation felt like stepping off a cliff, and I wasn't ready to fall. Instead, I watched her that evening, hunting for cracks in her facade. She moved through the house with forced lightness, kissing the kids goodnight with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Big day tomorrow," she said, voice bright but brittle, like glass about to shatter. I nodded, throat tight, and waited until she left for another late meeting. The call came at midnight. I was washing dishes, suds cold against my hands, when her name lit up my phone. I answered, expecting excuses, but her words landed like a hammer. "I'm leaving, Tom. I've been with someone else. He's what we need." Her voice trembled, but not with guilt. Resolute. "He loves the kids. He'll adopt them, give them a better life." I couldn't speak. The room spun. The dish slipped from my hands, clinking into the sink. "Who is he?" I croaked. She hung up, leaving only silence and the weight of her betrayal. I stared at the scattered toys, Leia's stuffed bunny, Max's plastic dinosaur. The thought of another man raising them, erasing me from their lives, ignited something feral inside me. Anger, yes, but beneath it, a deeper ache. Love twisted into something sharp and desperate. I loved Sarah still, but imagining her with him laughing, touching, planning a future without me, tore at my sanity. I needed proof, something to anchor the chaos in my chest. I didn't sleep. By dawn, I was at my laptop, hands shaking as I logged into our shared cloud account. I hadn't checked it in years, but Sarah had been careless with passwords. There was a folder labeled Work Docs filled with photos. Sarah and a tall, slick man, smiling too polished, kissing in a car, laughing at a restaurant, posing with my kids in a park I didn't recognize. My breath hitched, rage and grief colliding. But one photo stopped me cold. A lease agreement signed by Sarah and this man for an apartment crosstown. Move-in date, tomorrow. My kids, my life, boxed up and handed to a stranger. I wanted to scream, to destroy something, but a colder instinct took over. Revenge wasn't enough. I needed to reclaim what was mine. I called my lawyer, a college friend who didn't sugarcoat. "Tom, you got a shot at full custody," he said, voice steady. "She's moving in with someone else, planning to let him adopt without your consent. That's reckless. We can argue she's unstable." His words were a lifeline, pulling me from despair to purpose. I spent the day gathering evidence, screenshots, texts, the lease. Each click fueled my resolve. By evening, I filed an emergency custody motion, citing abandonment and emotional endangerment. The judge, a stern woman with tired eyes, granted a temporary order. Sarah couldn't take the kids anywhere. Not yet. Confrontation came at dusk. Sarah pulled into our driveway, car packed with boxes, face pale but defiant. "I'm here for the kids," she said, avoiding my gaze. The air was thick, sky bruised purple with rain. I stepped onto the porch, custody papers in hand, watching her confidence crumble. "You're not taking them," I said, voice low, steady, despite the storm inside. "You think you can erase me? Replace me with him?" I held up the papers, her name stark in black ink. "The court says they stay with me. You want to fight, Sarah? Fight me in court." Her eyes widened, lips parting in shock. "Tom, I didn't mean—" Her voice cracked. For a moment, I glimpsed a woman I'd loved, vulnerable, lost. But then I remembered the photos, the lies, the callous promise of another man adopting my children. "My choice," I said, stepping closer, voice ablade. "You broke us, but you don't get to break them." I nodded toward the house where Leia and Max played, oblivious to the wreckage. "Go ahead, Sarah, move in with him. But you're not taking my kids." She stood there, rain beginning to fall, her defiance fading into something raw. Guilt, maybe regret. "I thought I was doing what's best," she whispered, but the wind swallowed her words. She turned, got into her car, and drove away, tail lights disappearing into the storm. I leaned against the doorframe, papers crumpled in my fist, chest tight with a strange mix of triumph and sorrow. Inside, the kids' laughter drifted through the house, a fragile reminder of what I fought for. Sarah's betrayal had shattered our world, but I'd reclaimed a piece of it, claiming my place as their father. As rain soaked my shirt, I wondered if revenge would ever be enough, or the ghost of her love would haunt me forever.